Well, a Portland musician is at the center of controversy after an event was canceled by a local record store. And the reason? The album was made entirely with AI. John Adams has the story.
A listening session for Portland artist Brandon Carmody's new album was supposed to take place here at Music Millennium on Monday, but the event was abruptly canceled due to widespread pushback to the album.
Carmody used an AI program called Suno to make the album, which was titled AI. The album is meant to be a wider conversation about our society's use of artificial intelligence. He tells us the tracks were created using a series of prompts to create its rock sound.
This is the first record that I made completely from prompts, without playing the keyboard, and that's also terrifying to me.
Music Millennium owner Terry Courier said he received complaints from employees and the wider music community about the listening session, leading to his decision to cancel the event.
There's a lot of musicians out there worried about AI, and they've got valid reasons to be worried.
Though disappointed, Carmody has no hard feelings.
Kudos to Music Millennium, they made the right call.
And says the blowback is an opportunity for a wider conversation about the use of AI in music.
There is a conversation to be had here. They're raising moral and ethical issues about traditional musicians versus AI, and I have to respect that. I have to maybe take this moment to enter into an honest discussion.
Despite the controversy, Carmody is doubling down and is set to release another album of AI-created songs this weekend.
Some people are going to look at AI as a great tool for their music, and other people are going to scoff at it.
Courier believes AI usage in the music industry isn't going away at this point in time, but hopes this leads to a resurgence in live music.
This wasn't created by a computer. These people are playing, and this is their talents.
In Portland, John Adams, KGW News.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Brandon Carmody. I want to welcome my viewers in the United States and around the world. Thank you very much for being here. This is my album, AI, which is at the center of the controversy, as you just saw that from KGW News. I want to thank them for doing that story. I was very glad to get my statement on the record there. My special guest today is Chris McKay. Chris is a Atlanta-based singer-songwriter known for his work with Critical Darlings, the Everywin, and Q-Sign. Chris, so happy to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you for asking me.
So I wanted to ask you, how did you first become aware of my my situation with the Music Millennium event cancellation? How did my debacle land on your radar, sir?
Randomly through Facebook, it just came up in my feed, and I saw people absurdly making attacks that were just strangely vicious for something that they hadn't even heard or experienced. And I thought it was ironic that they were just repeating what they'd been prompted to say by other people, considering that their problem was apparently with prompting, because none of them actually knew from experience what they were talking about, it seemed. And that disturbs me as somebody that actually does respect artists and creative people, that anyone would just immediately jump to prejudiced conclusions. And it is prejudice. It's flat out prejudice. If you're not hearing it and you're already judging it, that is the definition of prejudice. You know? So what bothered me was the level of vitriol. It was hate.
Yeah. You're using very kind words for television. I have had some much more direct, private, offline adjectives for the attack, but I felt like John Dillinger coming out of the movie theater with his wife. That was a great movie. What did you think, dear? And then just the Tommy guns just literally shooting us down and the popcorn flying everywhere. Like, it felt like a turkey shoot, and I was the turkey, Chris.
Yeah, and frankly, you got screwed.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
folks. On that note, I'm out $5,000 in record and CD sales from the cancellation. This really hurt. Chris is right. This really, really hurt the bottom line. It was an unfair attack, wasn't it?
Guess what? Those people hurt musicians, because they're talking about AI hurting musicians. You are a musician. You can play music. You can perform music. You have done it, as I have for many years. We're simply experimenting with some new tools to create and how we're inspired to create. And you were hurt by the people complaining about what you're doing hurting musicians. So they hurt musicians.
Now, I spent 2 months getting ready for the show. As you can see, I had a plaque made up here with the, kind of the gold record effect.
Right.
Posters, CDs, the whole deal. People were going to get a USB drive with every CD sale at the purchase that was going to have 3 albums. That's right. You know what you guys missed? You missed getting 3 albums for the price of one. But I just want to take a moment and put a human face on our work, sir. So I want to just tell the folks about my work, and then I want to ask about you. I started writing songs when I was 12 years old. I grew up with a choir director father from Southern Oregon, and all I asked him to do was just show me on the keyboard, middle C, where everything is, and I took it from there. And I started writing songs, and I showed Chris the keyboard earlier. It was recorded on a Yamaha keyboard. So age 12, 13, and 14, all of the years from 1986 till now, I've been playing real music, real songs, real instruments, recording it in studios the way you musicians, am I talking to you musicians, always have, until last year. I started to try generative AI, and I took these unfinished songs from when I was 12 years old, put them into Suno, into the software, and I took unfinished songs from when I was 12 years old, and I turned them into magic. That is not me being one of the Gen Z people that just invented music out of nowhere. I wrote every single song on that first album that I put out at Christmas. So it's a new experiment for me, but I've been a 40-year long real musician. I am a musician. Chris, take it away. What is your story as a musician, sir?
My story as a musician is I don't remember starting to play because my grandmother was a Southern gospel singer. She stopped touring and everything to raise my father, but she still played at churches and things in South Carolina when I was growing up, and she basically raised me. So my earliest memories are literally sitting around with family in South Carolina. Like you see, like think about the Dillards or whatever on the Andy Griffith show with the Darlings. You know? It wasn't that far from that, where the family would be sitting around with the guitars just singing and playing Southern gospel stuff, and I would be sitting there with my grandmother's guitar, which was behind me, which I inherited, which I learned to play on, they would give me the guitar to hold it even though I couldn't play it, um, and that's the way it started, singing harmony with them and learning like that, so I don't remember learning. I've been playing in some form or another for the entire length of my memory. It was just I suddenly, gradually over time learned how to do it intentionally as opposed to it just being like part of the air.
Does the timeline kind of run congruent like mine? Like I'm tracking a 40-year career here from 1986 to 2026. Are you about in that same timeline, maybe
I'm
earlier than
50 I'm
86?
56. I'm 56 years old, so, I was born in 1969. So we're
Okay.
talking about
So you got me beat. You
1975.
got me beat by a few years, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been producing records in studios since, 1990.
So audience, I just want the audience to take a moment and lock onto that. Real musician. My guest, Chris, is a real musician. So let's transition into why did you start generative AI? You have a very specific and a very urgent reason why you started
Well,
generative AI.
yeah, I think this is an important thing to hear for people that just automatically condemn in a prejudiced way because they've been told that they should. The thing for me is I have serious health issues. I have a condition called vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is considered terminal, basically. See, this right here, that's in case I suddenly keel over during the interview and have to call for help. Um, so basically, I'm years past the average lifespan. The one good thing about it is most people with the condition look younger than their age. Frankly, I'd rather look like the crypt keeper. But but the bottom line is this. Um, I had a cerebellar stroke in my 30s, managed to go right back on the road and playing and being a syndicated photographer after that. Very high demand lifestyle, to say the least. In 2017, I was in a car wreck that, because of my vascular condition, caused a vertebral artery dissection, which is basically the inside flap of the vertebral artery, like ripping from the inside instead of tearing all the way through, which blocked 50% of the blood supply to my brain on this side. Um, Wound up in the ICU after time. They missed it at first. So uh, that took me out of the ability to tour. I couldn't tour
Absolutely.
anymore. I could
Absolutely.
play. I could sit in. I played on the rooftop here at Walk Street in Athens when Mickey Dolenz was covering REM, and we did some Monkey songs, and Peter Buck from REM came and sang with us, which was awesome to be able to come back to at least show up for something like that. But I can't tour
Your
normally.
touring days are over, Chris.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could have some hope left in that. I had a certain level, my last bands would do 3-hour shows every night, and I was in the center of the stage usually, and as I always said, I was a full contact performer. So it's not yeah, go through and find some photos, you'll see what I mean. It's not something that I could do again. The last show I did was in September. I did a brief thing where I didn't tell anybody I was gonna perform, but I showed up at the end of an event that I was helping to sponsor about musicians and artists, using art to survive trauma. So I did a little half-hour original set at the end of that, but I haven't been able to and I had to sit,
Yeah.
acoustically
Yeah.
doing it, but I could do it, as long as I can't plan it. But you can't plan out dates and say I'll be there in 6 months. I can't say that I'm gonna be at some place with a couple of thousand or a couple 100 people and not be there. So I can't tour. I'm doing what I can, but in 2024, to answer your question specifically, in 2024, I had to have what should have been a routine surgery, basically just gallbladder removal. For me, with my condition, though, that's extremely dangerous for multiple reasons. With vascular EDS, we tear because our vascular system doesn't work right. So, um, there were complications. Most people get their gallbladder removed and come home. I was in the hospital for 8 days, and my body doesn't like, you can't morphine doesn't work for me.
Oh
Opioids don't
gosh.
work. It's a weird
Oh my
it's a weird
gosh.
side effect. So it's a lot of pain. It hurts all the time, but
They couldn't give you any
I think
alternative?
there aren't really any.
Oh my god.
I mean, they tried at first, and at first I was like, "I'm not gonna take any painkillers because they don't work," and they finally convinced me because the pain was so bad, "Here, have some morphine." And I'd always turned it down because I knew it didn't work, and they finally gave it to me, and literally all that it did was make me throw up and be in pain. So they gave me another dose, same thing. But it's like, "No, it does nothing." It's weird,
Wow.
that something works this. So anyway, I was in the hospital for 8 days in excruciating pain, and there were complications in that, I had already been weakened for a few months with issues surrounding my overlying condition, and the breathing tube, when they do surgery, tore my throat up, so I was coughing up blood. I had no voice for months. I certainly couldn't sing.
Oh my god.
All and I did not have the strength at this time to even fret a guitar. Like, I couldn't the most natural thing in the world to me, I couldn't do it. So this was April of 2024. Yeah, I see the little hospital tag still from the most recent one, which was just March when I was in. Um, and then May was just a haze. It was a haze of because your body produces chemicals that are like kind of painkillers to kind of help you survive and dissociate. So for the month of May 2024, I was in this weird, weird haze. And in early June, like June 1st, give or take, I was starting to hear people talk about generative AI online. And I heard a lot of my musician friends basically the tooth gnashing thing, you know, "This is literally the end of the world. This is gonna destroy everything good. They're gonna kill us all."
Deal with
Like,
Satan, let me guess, deal with Satan, stuff like that?
not even no, it is Satan. Yeah, I mean, it's Satan
Oh,
himself.
okay.
You're right. It's yeah, I mean, just crazy stuff, and it's like, it's gonna be the end of everything, and on the other hand, I was thinking of my own condition, and I saw a news article about the country star Randy Travis, who was huge in the '80s, and he had a stroke. And as a fellow stroke survivor, I remember seeing it and thinking, "Well, what did he do?" So he had gone into a studio, because he can't sing, and around that time, he had gone in with a singer, and he had produced the band, told him exactly what he wanted, had the band play it exactly what he wanted, and then he coached the singer. "Here's how I want it. Here's what I need. No, change that. Do this, that, the other." This is prompting a human, by the way. Um, and then the singer sang it the way Randy wanted it, but then they took the singer, the live singer's track and ran it through an AI, model of Randy's voice. So when you hear the record, you're hearing Randy Travis sing through AI. For me, that was like, "Oh, that's given hope."
Welcome everyone to today's 24X segment. My name is Brandon. This is my co-star, Robbie Bucknam, Agent Ted Logan. Today, folks, we're going to be talking about 24X, the motion picture, but I just want to explain that since it's just literally been wrapped in its principal photography, it's still in editing, so we're kind of embargoed. We can talk about just sort of the beginning of the movie. That's where we can talk about basically the introductory segments. So let me start here. My character begins in a prison jumpsuit, literally walked into this crazy situation, and it's kind of like if you guys ever saw Silence of the Lambs. I don't know if you remember this, but 10 whole freaking minutes they're talking about like, oh, he's so bad, he's the most evil brain, like they spend 10 minutes like building up Hannibal Lecter to be this awful thing. So we do exactly this. I can tell you that much. We do exactly the same thing, like, oh, Mullet's so bad, oh, he can't even waggle around in the emergency room, like just. And then so when I do finally come out, I'm basically just like all like, ah, like I could not meet expectations at that point, right? Like,
hello, Clarice.
So the only thing I can tell you is, as far as like a funny little haha moment, is like we kind of start like this, and then dun, 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 and then somehow, bam. But yeah, a little more cleaned up. That's the last thing I'll say on this point, is that I was embargoed to not go get my hair cut during the entire production. So I am pleased today to also announce that I can now go to the barber, and by tomorrow this will regrettably go away. 24X, you played, we're not even joking, folks, Agent Ted Theodore Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Like you really, really do.
Yeah.
So when I decided to go all in, I was like, oh, you'll go down this road with me. Like, did you get it immediately when you read it or looked at it?
Oh yeah. I knew that's what you wanted to go, you know, with the other guy as well.
Now, what was it like since we did it as green screen for you? Like, I know for me, like I'm kind of comfortable in the green screen space, but was this strange for you? Kind of everything's make-believe.
Yeah, this is new, but I'm getting to like third time here.
Yes. So basically we can tell you folks up to a certain line. I think we can show kind of maybe just a still or two from the very beginning, but the group does get together, and let us explain in this shot. So it is going to be Phil and Ted, and Phil is the head of STD Los Angeles. And then we've got Dr. Carey standing in there. And the funny thing about this is that Dr. Carey is sort of the reluctant, like, oh no, there's no hope. This guy is totally effed up, like just right off the bat. Like, but this Phil is the corporate, like, results, like must do something. So
get it done.
All we can tell you is they go for desperate measures to sort of get Mullet. But everything 24 that you guys loved, all the shocking moments where like something happens and then they turn a corner and it's like, ah, ta-da! Like we went for some of that kind of angle to keep with the tradition. But we can't forget about X-Files. I wove X-Files into the storyline, as you probably saw, you know.
A little bit.
A little bit of a tease,
and you know me, I'm all, you know, X-Files.
Yes, we're going to be talking about in our UFO segment today too. But the great thing about that is I'm sure that you might have even seen little pieces of the tapestry. I don't know how much 24 you saw, but when I look at what we shot, I see so much. I see at least 5 or 6 different eras of 24 represented in what we shot.
Wasn't it right before or right after X-Files? Like when it aired?
Yeah, like, so they did not overlap with each other, right? Literally, like I believe 2001 was when X-Files wrapped, and then 24 premiered. Okay. And 24 was briefly delayed due to 9/11. If people didn't know that, briefly delayed a couple months in their production.
Okay.
But just thank you so much. Like I can't get this out and be thankful to everyone enough. Like this was a group project. You saw the team that we assembled for this.
That was a good team.
This was a top tier team.
Showed up.
It's just so much fun. But the great thing about it is, folks, I believe that I played Mullet Bower for the last time. I really do. This was meant to be a one-off film and bring the storyline to a conclusion. I just want to make sure that everyone understands the reason why. 11 years ago, 24, which went off the air in 2010, it had a series finale, came back for a 12-episode miniseries, and they're like, yeah, no, let's give Jack Bauer a better ending. Yeah, not so much, Fox. Just to give you a spoiler alert, basically Jack Bauer has to sacrifice himself to be a captive to the Russians in order to save Chloe's life, and so the damn thing ends with him getting on a helicopter to presumably be tortured or killed for the rest of his life. And it is now 11 years later, and we're only now hearing murmurings from the actual Fox 24 Apparently, Kiefer Sutherland says he has been shown a script.
I saw that, yeah.
The showrunners have to go to Disney because they're now the parent company.
They are.
And so they have to run a proposed, 24 series now, like 25 years later after the original.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like everything is a financial decision now, but do you have any thoughts on whether or not they give it even another 12 episode run at that?
I know when they brought X-Files back, which, again, Disney.
Yes, it was.
There was a limited event series, and then they brought it back again and called it, season 11. But those were like limited as well, like a handful of episodes.
Yes.
So they can do. That's probably what it'll be. I don't think it's going to be.
And I think if
seasons aren't like 24 episodes anymore.
And if they want to tell a story arc that gives their primary character Jack Bauer a different closure, they have 12 episodes to get there.
12? Okay.
But I got to be honest with you.
You think 12?
I hate you guys. I hate to be so direct and morose. They will just have to kill him. They will really have to kill Jack Bauer because they've done everything from like leaving him in the Chinese for torture, leaving him in the Russians for torture, like leaving him to run from the U.S. government as a terrorist. He's at this like end of his story. Like there's nothing else other than something.
Oh, so they didn't kill him. I never saw that.
If they want to bring it to, I'm just saying, I'm telling you, showrunners, I'll write it for you, and then I'll share the Emmy.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Okay. I want to be Ted again.
Mr. President, I heard a crazy story that I wanted to ask you about. I heard that you and Michelle came back from vacation, walked into the Oval Office, and you found Brandon Carmody literally on the hotline with Kremlin pretending to be you. Now, that's a pretty wild story. I didn't think it was true. But what can you tell us?
Michelle and I were just getting back from vacation, and we walk into the Oval Office, and there was Brandon Carmody sitting behind the Resolute desk talking on the red phone, which we call the hotline, to Vladimir Putin. I made a motion to him asking, he wanted to tag me in. He waved me off, so I figured he had the situation under control.
Oh my God. So let me see if I understand this. You walk into the Oval Office and catch Brandon Carmody on the actual hotline talking to the actual Vladimir Putin pretending to be you. What were they talking about?
The funny part to me is that people don't realize that Brandon Carmody actually does a pretty spot on Barack Obama impression. So once he waved me off, Michelle and I sat down at the couch and drank our morning coffee. I actually started filling out some of the crossword puzzles in the New York Times. You know, just another day at the White House.
Just another day at the White House? Mr. President, I love this story so much. So another question I wanted to ask you. I've heard that there is a lot of gift exchanges at the end of an administration. I am dying to know, did Brandon Carmody give you any kind of parting gift at the end of your administration? Or did you give any kind of Mentos to him before you left office?
Yes. Joe, I did. I actually gave Brandon Carmody my Nobel Peace Prize.
Welcome everyone to the Moda Center here in Portland, Oregon. And 23 years ago, however, this used to be called the Rose Center. And as always, I'm here to explain what happened. So in 1998, I was working as a front desk clerk at the Rose Manor Motel here in sunny Portland, Oregon. And my manager, Irish, his favorite band is Led Zeppelin. He loves Led Zeppelin, cannot get enough of their records, their concerts. He's been listening to them his whole adult life, right? So he found out that Page and Plant, as part of their No Quarter tour, were going to be coming here to Portland, Oregon, and he got us surprise tickets for my birthday. And when he let me know we were going to the show, I was very excited. So we get in here, we get into our seats, and we were way up in the bleachers, right? So he's got his binoculars out. That's how far away we are from the band. And we're getting really excited, we're getting really pumped. And then right in the first 30 seconds, as the band is hitting the stage and the lights go down and the music is starting to really build, literally there's a guy to my left that just sparks up a bowl, and I literally do a full Terminator head tilt looking in this guy's general direction. He's like, hey buddy, come on, hit it, you know you want it. And so there's that moment of indecision where I'm looking at the guy putting a bowl in my face, and I turn and I look at my boss, and my boss is looking at me. And then furthermore, I can see in the peripheral behind him, he's got a guy on his right smoking a bowl. It's like, hey buddy, here, take a hit off of this. It's like, oh my God, we're surrounded by the stoners. I've got the stoner here, he's got the stoner there. So of course you'd want it. Anyone would want it. It's Led Zeppelin. So I was so tempted. It was a moment of indecision, but I think he might have, I don't know, I think he might have just kind of shook his eye. I got enough of a, okay, oh my God. If I had been at that concert with anyone other than my boss, who knows what would happen. But anyway, I digress. Robert Plant and Jimmy Page put on an incredible show. I saw Jimmy Page do things with the guitar and some type of equipment that I've never even seen before in my life. It was an incredible show, and it's on YouTube. The one thing I do want to note, however, the two Led Zeppelin songs I was hoping to hear, which is Kashmir and Stairway to Heaven, it didn't happen. Stairway to Heaven didn't happen. I'll tell you why. Apparently they've just been done playing them for years and years, just played to death. But I did get to see a lot of Zeppelin classics, a lot of material from No Quarter, and it was a very, very satisfying rock show, and I'm glad I went.
Hi there. Hi, everyone. My name is Denise, and this is my friend Brandon Carmody.
Hi, Denise.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me on your show today.
Love you.
Yeah, I love you too. I love you too.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it. So Brandon has written a AI album. I'm so excited.
Did you get a chance to listen to it?
I did get a chance to listen to it.
Is it fun, or what do you think?
It's so fun. There's so many they're really powerful songs.
Really?
Yeah, I really love the strength of the music. I think it's beautiful. I have some favorites, of course. But I wanted to ask you, like, I know that you've written a lot of the words that are in these songs, but I wanted to ask you, what's your feeling on this being it's called AI.
Yes.
What are your feelings on the AI
Well,
music?
I have a lot, but I have to freely start with this. It is a hot button issue. AI is controversial, and I'm talking about that in the artistic space, like you're using it for anything to do with movies, recreating actors, extras, to music.
Yeah.
But I just thought that I could just wade in and just literally put out AI music, and I literally felt like I took some slings and arrows, like John Dillinger coming out of the movie theater, like, that was a great show, dear. Like, so I feel a little bit unrealistically like I'm John Dillinger taking the Tommy gun outside the theater.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So it's but here is the thing. AI is quickly taking over in a lot of ways. You have experts that are saying everything like, oh, there's tools that are so cool for music and all this artistic space, but we see the realistic, like, oh, companies are downsizing and letting hundreds of people go, thousands of people go, replacing them with AI. So I have a statement to make here. This is, on Law & Order, when they're like ripped from current events and everyone's like, it's too soon, man. Like, I'm putting out a record called AI and it might be too soon because we're right in the moment.
Yeah, I hear that. What I want to tell you, that I'm so proud of you. I want to tell you, I'm so proud of you. I know you've been writing for a very long time.
Yeah, this is big.
This is a culmination of like some of your life's work.
Also, and I was pointing this out to Mark earlier, I haven't had a record in 13 years. Do you want to hold this? Do you want to see this, Denise?
I want to hold it. Look how wonderful this is.
I haven't had a record, and this is so cool.
This is amazing.
But
this is
also,
amazing. I'm very proud of you.
It's going to be hard for me to make a case and saying like, oh, this record is a public service. But did you sensed on it? You see that there's a deeper message in this. Some of the songs are getting darker, and it goes from like, oh, we're past fun tools, we're into job losses, now we're into riots in the street, we're into buildings are burning and things are looking. And then at the end, it's a Saturday Night Fever, like one last disco dance party before the robots melt us all down.
Before they melt us all down,
I had to go there because the experts said it might go there. Art imitates life much.
Well, what I can say is it was fun. It was unexpected. The words that you wrote yourself, some of the stuff is just amazing and beautiful and powerful. It's been a lot of years since you've written some of these things, and then just to hear it be performed.
Do you want to hear AI? We're going to listen.
Yeah, let's hear it. So you guys will get kind of an idea of what we're talking about. And actually, this is one of my favorites.
Choice already chosen for you. We built a break, a broken slate, set of secrets we can't keep. Now it's learning how we move. What are we gonna do? AI taking over everything, minding all the rules we used to sing. If the world gets smarter than us, what are we gonna do? Let us hands lay the future. Get replaced by what they drew. Then the tube starts
Welcome back to the big program, folks. Tonight on the show, we have comedian Rita Rudner and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, we do this every Friday. We take time to answer viewer mail. Actual letters from actual viewers. We don't make these up, like 60 Minutes. So, letter number 1. Dave, could you throw this pen through your window for me? Sincerely yours, Ken Fitzwater, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Okay, Ken, here we go. Letter number 2. Dave, how do you feel about being stalked by a stranger? If you like it, shake your head once. If you don't, shake your head twice. I don't know. Maybe I should send this over to Connie Chung. Now, my next guest is a very well-established comedian. Please welcome Rita Rudner. Well, it's good to see you again. What were we talking about the last time we were here?
Yes, my husband and I just bought a house. We're millionaires, you know.
Don't ask me.
And the first night in the new house, my husband wanted me to wear a leather dress. He said I would look so sexy. I showed him. So uncomfortable. Well, that moo is actually a cry for help.
I never thought of it that way before, you know? So what are you going to be doing?
Well, I'm going to Canada next week.
Well, that's nice. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. We'll be right back with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right, everyone, it's time for Brandon's final thought. And as always, I'm here to explain what happened. So, folks, high school reunions are a tradition. High school reunions are optional for us to attend. That's assuming the event was organized well. People were contacted en masse, and you were even invited to said event. Just saying. So, folks, let's start here. I got my first taste of what a high school reunion would look like when I was 12 years old in 1990 at our parents' 20th reunion for Seattle Glacier High School, class of 1970. So check this out. In this photo, this is Mom and her cousin Fran. Now, I want to flash forward to Mom's 30th reunion. Check this out. This lovely lady is Sue Buckner. Sue Buckner played Patty Simcox in Grease, and Sue Buckner recently passed away this year. So rest in peace, Sue Buckner and my mom. So, folks, when it came time for my 10-year high school reunion in 2006, I got an invite. It was held at Kel's Irish Pub in downtown. It was very cool with this multi-layer bar. And I just sort of worked my way through the catacombs, talking and getting to know people. But just one thing that I had apparently completely forgotten about my high school era is that for some reasons unknown, as Ripley would say, reasons unknown, I briefly went for a short period of time by the moniker BJ. Now, just so that this is not misunderstood in any way, when I say BJ, we're talking Brandon, John, Carmody. BJ. So anyway, I forgot all about it, right? So I get to the 10-year reunion, and it's just you're trying to make your way through the catacombs. Sometimes you're body surfing, and it's really interesting, right? And literally, there were just occasionally people across the room like, BJ! BJ over there, BJ! And it's like, oh my God, no, right? Okay, so flash forward another 10 years. In 2016, I'm going to my 20-year high school reunion. We're at a different bar. Control room, I think we have some photos from this one. This is great. So look at this, but just got to be honest with you, every now and again, people are like, BJ, I see BJ in the back there. BJ, come on down. No. So here's what I'm thinking. Late at night the other night, I'm laying in bed and I'm watching this movie, this really dark Stanley Kubrick movie with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman from 1999 called Eyes Wide Shut. Now, in the basic premise of Eyes Wide Shut, they're this marital couple and they're going through this really dark psychosexual situation, right? Now, Tom Cruise is meeting with his friend in a diner who's a pianist for these sort of off-book gigs, and he figures out during this meeting that his friend is basically going to play keyboard for some type of sex weird costume party, and Tom Cruise's character convinces him to give him the password, which is Fidelio. Okay, you with me so far? So Tom Cruise shows up at the gig in his mask, and he's literally just making his way through, and everyone's like, Fidelio, yeah, Fidelio, dude, cool, right? And like, it's totally weird in this costume party until this crazy moment where one of the characters calls him out, and he's unmasked in front of everyone, and it's just a total twist, right? So anyway, I got inspired by this, and I saw a post the other night. So this is very interesting. On one of the Facebook groups, this girl posted asking, is there anyone organizing a 30-year reunion for Rex Putnam alumni class of 1996? Wait, I just had one of these like eureka moments though where I connected the dot, like, wait a minute. I got called BJ at my 10-year and my 20-year reunion, and I didn't like it. I think there's a possibility here. I think that as of right now, I should take over planning of the 30-year Rex Putnam 1996 alumni. And I think that we should make it a costume party, like that creepy psychosexual Tom Cruise movie scene, so that I can move about the bar during our 30-year and be like, Fidelio. Yeah, Fidelio, dude. Wait, I'm getting a vision right now. Control room, can you patch into my brainwaves? Can you put this up on the screen?
Hey everyone, it's BJ!
We want to thank you again for helping to make this possible. And remember, we'll be back next week with a great show. So, thank you very much.